Don't look now, but our Bears are in first place. It was a nice come-from-behind victory against Arizona to get us 2-1 on the season. And we have an awesome show for you today, coming from Whirly Ball in Bucktown at the Charles Tillman Cornerstone Foundation event. Tons of Bears legends hanging with us, including Tillman, Anthony Adams, and one of our longtime favorites, Matt Forte. This is the Chicago Huddle.
All right, welcome into the Chicago Huddle. We have a great show this week. It's going to be a little different.
Thank you.
We are down here.
They're a little late with the cue.
Bucktown. Celebrate. I guess we're here for you for the Cornerstone Foundation. We talked to you last week about this great event. You've got everybody turned out. You also got some former teammates is here as well. We're going to talk to Matt Forte and Jerry Azuma, so we've got a full show. All right, Charles, last week we talked about the Bears going down to Arizona and coming out with a victory, but I think we predicted it to be a little different than it was.
Yes.
What were your thoughts on the game? I know that's a win, but you still have to have some thoughts on that. I think we wanted a little bit bigger win.
Yeah, you know, the first two points, first two touchdowns that they gave up, miscommunication. You know, we see a tight end run across the middle, wide open. We see David Johnson run a route out of the backfield, down the sideline untouched. I hate to say it, it's just miscommunication. I know that for a fact because Super Bowl back in 2006.
Don't bring that up.
Yeah, I know. I played one coverage. Our safety played another coverage. Miscommunication.
Okay, how does that happen, though? How does the miscommunication happen?
Somebody wasn't paying attention.
Okay, that's all it is?
That's all it is. He probably heard cover 2. The other guy heard cover 3. And they were doing their own thing, and in their mind, they thought they were doing the right thing, and then you see tight end running up the sideline in the end zone, touchdown. David Johnson running up the sideline, touchdown.
But they figured it out.
They figured it out. They came through. I hate to say it, but Khalil Mack, what can I say more about this dude? He came through, the best player in the NFL right now. Offense, defense, special teams, it's Khalil Mack. He does everything. He is the best player in all of football.
He's made a play in all 3 games for the Bears to help them win the game, and I agree with you there. But let's stick with the defense. Okay. What has impressed you most about the defense? I know you're talking about Khalil Mack, but let's talk about the pressure up front from Khalil Mack and his guys, or them taking the ball away.
I love the fact that they're taking the ball away.
I knew you were going to go there.
So here's the thing. This stat has been going around since the beginning of time, since 1920. Okay, if you're +2, there's an 80% chance you will win the game. +3, 90%, +1, 70%. They were, I don't know what they were in the percentage-wise, but they won the turnover ratio. Whenever we used to play games, or the mindset that you have to have, you're not really trying to outplay the offense or the team you're playing. You're trying to outplay the other defense of the opposing team. And that was what Chicago did when they played Arizona.
I heard a stat today. I heard it on the radio, I think on 670 The Score, that you and Michael Strahan have the most takeaways in a season at 10. And if Khalil Mack stays on the pace he's on, he would break that record. Would you be all right with that?
You know what? I would be all right with that. Records are made to be broken. And if a guy like Khalil Mack can break a record that myself and Michael Strahan hold, God bless him, so be it. He's earned it. He deserves it.
All right, let's switch it over to the offense. The offense came out sputtering again. They didn't play great. They didn't score on their first series. We wanted to see more out of Mitch Trubisky. We talked about that last week, and we didn't see it this week. When is it time to start worrying about that?
I'm still optimistic.
I'm with you.
I think Chicago fans really want to see him perform right now because he was the 2nd pick overall. The Bears had number 3. They traded up for number 2 to pick this kid. I'm still optimistic. You know, he's still young. He's still a rookie. He's still learning. It's a lot of information he has to take in, but I think Bear fans, they're only patient for so long. But being a player, and I know how difficult that is, I'm going to ride with him, and I'm going to be a little bit more patient.
All right, when you see this offense not putting up points and not producing, and you played on great defenses where we didn't put up a whole lot of points on offense, do you get upset, or do you just still stick with what you're good at and say, hey, man, we can win this game on our own?
No, you get upset now. Don't get me wrong. They pay you a lot of money to make those plays and to be better. It's just taking him a little bit longer, and I'm okay with that. But as a defensive player, you know, we're doing our job on defense. We're winning the game. We're taking the ball away. But I want to see more on the offense. Do your job. Help us out a little bit. We can only do so much on defense for so long before the defense breaks down. It was kind of what we used to go through when we played. But, again, I think they're patient, but at some point in time, you're going to see a shift in that defense.
Sure.
And fingers are going to start to get pointed toward the other side of the ball.
Yeah,
I hate to say it, but it's only a matter of time.
They need to start putting more points up, not relying on the defense to put on
Keep
points.
the defense off the field. Right now, I think the defense are getting gassed. It's just too many plays.
We got to go real quick to the Goodwill amazing play of the game, and you'll like this one. This is Bryce Callahan making the pick to seal the game. They had great pressure up front from the front four, and Bryce runs across and takes away the Josh Rosen pass to seal the game. And my question for you is, as a DB in that situation, when a team is driving on you to potentially win the game, when do you take a chance to try to steal that ball away, or do you try to play safe?
Well, in that particular case, that was a perfect chance for Bryce to take advantage of the situation. The defensive line got great pass rush. In that situation, they got great pass rush. They did what they had to do. They responded well. And as he was throwing it, he got hit. Yeah. And he threw it behind, and he threw it late. Rookie mistake. Bryce stepped up, walked in. Thank you.
Game over. Game over.
Got it.
Hey,
Game
man,
over.
Charles, thanks again for coming on the show. I know you got people to go talk to around here, and enjoy the day here with the Cornerstone Foundation. When we come back, we have our resident doctor, Dr. Tonino, who's going to break down two of the Bears' injuries that occurred last week, and we're going to figure it out for you, so stay tuned.
The Chicago Huddle is presented by Whirly Ball. Eat, drink, game on. Champagne Lodge. Book your getaway at thecl.com today. Muscle Mac High Protein Macaroni and Cheese Products. Lammy Sports Management. For Chicago athletic appearances and endorsements, contact Lammy Sports Management today. Loyola Sports Medicine. Caring for both body and soul.
And then I picked up some amazing decorations for the party. Yeah, Goodwill. And I got some great ideas for him while I was there. Well, we could go fancy, or maybe fierce. I know. How about feisty? Oh, no. Too far. I'm not worried, though. I always find something at Goodwill.
After my accident,
I needed action fast.
I wasn't having anything to do with the insurance company, their adjuster, or their tiny check.
I wanted more.
More.
A lot more.
I called Hupy and Abraham.
I got more. Way more than I thought I'd get. Way more.
Way more than the insurance company said I would.
Hupy and Abraham.
A good lawyer shouldn't cost you more. They should get you more.
Call Hupy and Abraham, 800-800-5678.
45 still going.
Yeah! I got my 10-year anniversary coming up next week.
You should take her to Champagne Lodge. Best thing I ever did.
Just 25 minutes from Chicago, the Champagne Lodge features exceptional whirlpool suites, in-room pools, and a complete menu of spa services, making any stay above standard.
I gotta go, guys. I gotta pick up drapes. Drapes? I gotta go cut them on.
Welcome back to the Chicago Huddle, and now it is time for our Loyola Sports Medicine Injury Update. As you can see, we have Dr. Tonino here, who is the Chief of Sports Medicine at Loyola Medicine. And like I said, there were going to be some other special guests walking around here. We got Jerry Azuma, former teammate, Pro Bowl cornerback, kick returner, man. Welcome to the show.
Sounds real good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You bet. All right, Doc, you're on the show for a reason. We got to talk about a couple injuries that happened to the Bears. Unfortunately, they had a couple injuries last week. They were healthy the first 2 weeks. But let's talk about Prince Amukamara and his hamstring injury. I read where he came out and said he didn't think it was too serious. But what goes on maybe the Monday, the Tuesday after the game? They go in for an MRI. What do you and your team at Loyola do to evaluate a hamstring like that?
Well, you want to know, as a team doctor, you probably know if somebody's had an injury to their hamstring before. That makes a difference, too, how you're going to treat them. And then when you get the MRI, you can see how bad the injury is. I mean, everybody's going to want to know, when can he go? So looking at the MRI, you can see the extent of the injury and give both the player and the coaches an idea how long they're going to be out, or if it's going to be a quick thing, or it's going to be a couple weeks, or maybe longer.
What do those discussions go like? Do you have a certain timetable? Can you say this is a 1 weeker, this is a 2 weeker, or does that depend on the player?
Yeah, I mean, our experience, we know certain kind of injuries, how long they take. For example, sometimes a hamstring injury can pull the muscle right off the bone, and that's a season-ending injury that needs surgery. So you can tell them right away within a couple days what the next couple weeks are going to be like.
All right, Jerry, you got our resident DB here.
Yeah.
I asked you off air, have you ever had a hamstring injury? You said no, but I know you've played with a lot of guys that have.
Right.
Can you play cornerback with a strained hamstring if you're not 100%?
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, being a defensive back, you have to be on at all times. I mean, these wide receivers are elite. They're fast. They're very athletic. And you have to make sure that you're pretty much at 100%. So playing with a hamstring is just a no-go. It's like having a Ferrari with a bum-like tire.
Yeah.
It's just not going to work.
That's the one injury. You know, I talk about 100%ers. There's a lot of guys in the league now that try to be 100%er, but that one you have to be 100%er. But I'm sure you played a lot of games where you're banged up in different parts of your body,
Right.
and you still got to go, right?
I mean, if you're playing football long enough, you're going to get banged up from week to week, and it's all about just doing the proper things to put your body back together again. But playing with a bad hamstring is just a whole different element. I mean, especially on that island.
You got to run like you guys do.
Yeah, if a guy's at 100%, he's running as fast as he can. With a bum hamstring, you're just never going to catch up to him. So it's important that you get your rest,
yeah,
and then you make sure that you go out there and perform.
All right, Doc, another injury that occurred was Anthony Miller, the rookie wide receiver. Looks like he dislocated his shoulder. What would your medical staff at Loyola do to kind of diagnose that, and how do you deal with that, you know, as he walks off the field with his arm hanging?
Yeah, so what he probably did is he dislocated his shoulder and stretched the ligaments in the front of the shoulder. Now, he had an injury when he was in college. He may have had a small injury in the same area, which would predispose you to injuring that again. And what you want to see is it a minor injury that you can treat conservatively. A lot of times in season, we can put them in a brace that limits their ability to move, but then you can't reach very well. It's kind of like we all have buddies that reach for the dinner check and then don't reach very far. And that's what it's kind of like. That's
something good later in life to have.
So that's what it's kind of like. But sometimes these athletes are able to do stuff. We have one athlete in the NFL who's got one arm, so it's pretty amazing what they can do even with restricted motion like that.
Is this something, though, he can finish out the season? Will this be something he needs a couple weeks of rest, or is this something he's going to have to play with the entire season where it is going to hurt him, or do you have to shut him down, get surgery, and hopefully come back the next season?
Well, you really want to see if you can get him through the season. I mean, once you're in the season, you're in the game, played 3 games already, see if you can get him in playing the rest of the season. Also depends on how important he is to the team, too. He's an essential part of this team, so we're going to probably try him with some therapy, bracing, and see how he does with that.
You know, it looked like he might have done it twice in the game where it popped out twice. Is he more susceptible now to that happening again? Or is that why you have to put a brace on, like you said, to kind of stop that from happening?
Yeah, you're not going to let him go out without some sort of device that limits his ability to move a little bit, but also protects him from injuring that again, because every time it pops out, it can injure the head of the humerus, and you can get some damage to the joint from that.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So when do you basically put your foot down and say, you know what, you've had enough. You've had some dislocations, and you know what, I'm stepping in, and you're not playing anymore.
Well, there's certain positions like a throwing. If he's the quarterback, there's no way he's going to play with this kind of an injury because he cannot throw with that. This is his non-dominant shoulder, catching shoulder, and there's really nothing that you have to have for sure have surgery. It's really a discussion that's had with the athlete, and even in college, maybe they had a discussion with him and said, I think you should have surgery, and they go, I don't think so. So they don't have surgery. So it's really a discussion you have with a doctor and the player, and unless it's a life-threatening type thing, you can allow for some discussion between the two of you.
Doc, thanks for coming on. I appreciate your insight. You're always very helpful. When we come back, we're going to get his thoughts on the Chicago Bears and maybe what we want to see going forward. So stay tuned.
Before we take a break, let's hit our Muscle Mac high-protein macaroni and cheese products sack tracker. Let's take a look at how the team is stacking up against the rest of the league in this category with our star defense. After 3 games played, Chicago has recorded 14 sacks, which tops the entire league, with Mac leading our pack, posting up 4.
The Chicago Huddle is presented by Loyola Sports Medicine, caring for both body and soul. Whirly Ball, eat, drink, game on. Muscle Mac high protein macaroni and cheese products. Muscle Mac High Protein Macaroni and Cheese products are available at these fine retailers.
And then I picked up some amazing decorations for the party. Yeah, Goodwill. And I got some great ideas for him while I was there. Well, we could go fancy. Or maybe fierce. I know. How about feisty? Oh, no. Too far. I'm not worried, though. I always find something at Goodwill.
Welcome back to the Chicago Huddle. With the new football season brings a new tailgate season. We hit the lots to take in the sights and see how well our fans know their Bears. It's time for Vienna Beef Tailgate Trivia. Okay, what's your name? Where are you from?
Bob from Batavia.
Bob from Batavia. We're going to play some Vienna Beef Tailgate Trivia. What receiver on the roster has led the NFL in touchdowns in a season? Was it Kevin White, Trey Burton, or Allen Robinson? How did you know that?
I'm a Bears fan, man.
That is good. He was with the Jaguars. It was in 2015. He just signed a 3-year deal with the Bears.
Exactly.
But here's the thing. All right. I heard that he puts ketchup on his hot dog. Should we let him stay for 3 years?
Not for 3 years.
No.
He gets a grace period. But...
We'll teach him, right?
Yeah.
All right. You win a Vienna Beef Tailgate Trivia t-shirt.
All right. Nice.
Thanks, April. We are back here at Whirly Ball in Bucktown supporting the Cornerstone Foundation. I said I was going to talk to Jerry Azuma, but we found Anthony Adams.
I'm easy to find.
So.
Spice. I'm a big
I
target.
think you found us because you saw the cameras and just wanted to get it back.
I told you I was coming, Pat. I told you I was coming. I want to be a man of my word.
Contact your agent. I didn't get a number for your agent.
Wow.
He says that a lot, actually. I've heard it before. Several times, actually.
Well, thanks for coming on and thanks for being here, man. All right,
No problem.
I got to get your thoughts. I know fans want to hear your guys' thoughts of what's going on with the Bears so far. First place Bears.
We're winning.
That's
They're
right.
winning. I know. First place Bears. Well, let's start with the offense, though. I know you guys are defensive players.
Oh, boy.
We'll get to that good side of the ball real quick. Offense has been struggling.
Yeah.
Should we still be patient with Matt Nagy and Mitch Trubisky?
I mean, do we have a choice? We have to be.
Well, you
He's
hear
our
all the
guy.
social media, everybody's saying, oh, man, just fire him.
What they say.
No, you know what? I will say this, though. I know the first 15 is scripted to perfection. It's just like we have to make an adjustment after that. And I don't know if it's going to be bootlegs, getting the quarterback on the run. I don't know if it's going to be screens or something. But, I mean, we have to be able to control the clock so that our defense can rest. So whatever we need to do, that's what needs to happen.
Well, I agree with you on controlling the clock, and with controlling the clock comes running the football.
Right.
And we have a beast with Howard, and we also have Cone, which is a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
So I feel like
Reminds me of you, right? When you get the ball.
Kind of when I was running the ball way back when. I'm old now, so. But I think you have to involve those two because those two are going to be the quarterback's best friend, basically.
Yeah.
And it takes the pressure off the quarterback. And it's a young quarterback, whatever, but I'd say run the ball, find a tight end. I think that he's going to be a big part of the offense as well. Find a tight end, and we have some great wide receivers. We need to find them too. I think our longest pass was what, about 39 yards?
39 yards.
Knows,
Yep.
What was
So
it, last week,
not
right?
Long enough.
Yeah.
It's not long enough. Yeah. So there's some work that needs to be done there, but you have to give them a little bit of time, let everybody gel, and get this thing
It's
going.
all doable. It's all
It is.
doable.
It is.
I asked Peanut earlier, and he agreed with me, and I'll get your thoughts on this too, is maybe simplifying the offense a little bit. I think Matt Nagy's thrown a lot at him,
Yeah.
Mitch Trubisky, and said, all right, let's learn it, and then maybe now it's time to scale it back a little bit, simplify some formations, because he's going to start seeing some pressure. Because after that Arizona game, Coach Wilkes was bringing some heat all over the place, and it looked like he struggled with that.
When you know what you're doing and you know why you're doing it, you play so much faster. So that could be a good idea to scale some things back and, maybe give him more control of the offense. Like if he comes out and he sees a defense that he doesn't like, maybe he can audible to something else. I don't know right now. I don't know right now.
I see it a little different. I think that they are kind of scaling back a little bit. I don't think that they've given or opened up the whole playbook to him. If you look at the formation from what I've seen, it just kind of looks pretty basic. And I think that you just have to execute those things and not get yourself into bad situations. Turnovers get you in bad situations, and long third downs get you in bad situations also. So It's just the little things. I think they need a little bit of adjustment.
Yeah.
But they just have to go out there and they have to make plays and have some confidence about it.
We've been managing the game pretty well. I will say that.
All right, let's flip it over to the defense real quick.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, defense, thoughts, go.
Mac.
We both said it right. Mac, dude, he is a beast, man. Like, when he out on the field, if you're a corner, you can just sit on the routes, man, because you know the quarterback got to get the ball out.
That's exactly what Prince did.
So
took one to the house.
That was the game-winning play. That was the game-winning play. They got pressure on him. He threw it.
Everyone up front is balling.
Yep.
And then you add Mac to the equation. It just makes everyone better. And it's all about pressure defense, which I love. They're getting the ball away, creating takeaways, and they're also scoring on defense.
And Roquan is looking good, man.
Yeah,
I saw him slamming a couple of people.
Yeah,
I was like, that's what I want. That's what you need to see right there. I'm talking about solo tackles, just fitting the guy up and slamming him to the ground. That's monsters
Black
of the
and blue
midway
division.
Right
I like it.
yes, sir.
Well, guys, thanks for coming on.
We
I know
need
you
some
guys are
big plays out of special teams,
We're
too.
working on it, man.
So
Chris
we
Tabor's
need you to go
Chris
into the
Tabor's
locker room,
working on it.
man, and talk to some
Tariq
people.
Cohen's working on it. He's had some good returns so far, man. He's doing okay.
Yes.
Well, you know, everybody wants to look towards the long snapper.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if
not
you walk
about
in the
me.
weight room, man, or in the locker room, you demand instant respect.
Yeah, right. I was number 53 on the roster. Hey, guys, thanks for showing up, man. I know, Charles, appreciate you guys being here.
No problem.
All right, when we come back, we're going to have Mr. Pre- and Post-Game Show of NBC Sports Chicago, Matt Forte, break down the upcoming game for us, so stay right there.
Ever want to really get to know our Bears? Here's your chance. Win a special dinner event with Patrick Manley, a current Bear, myself, and you. Take a look at the password on the screen right now. Send that to shyhuddle@gmail.com and you'll be entered to win 2 passes to an exclusive dinner event with us, pictures, eats, autographs, and a chance to ask those burning questions. You can enter up to once each week, so keep watching to increase your chances to win.
The Chicago Huddle is presented by Whirly Ball. Eat, drink, game on. Goodwill. Amazing. Loyola Sports Medicine. Caring for both body and soul. Muscle Mac High Protein Macaroni and Cheese Products. Champagne Lodge. Book your getaway at thecl.com today. Lammy Sports Management. For Chicago athletic appearances and endorsements, contact Lammy Sports Management today.
And then I picked up some amazing decorations for the party. Yeah, Goodwill. And I got some great ideas for him while I was there. Well, we could go fancy. Or maybe fierce. I know. How about feisty? Oh, no. Too far. I'm not worried, though. I always find something at Goodwill.
We're back for one more segment at Whirly Ball in Bucktown. Let's see how the guys can slow down the red-hot Ryan Fitzmagic in Tampa and secure the win going into the bye week.
All right, welcome back to the Chicago Huddle. We have a familiar face to the show here, Matt Forte, who is now Mr. Pre- and Post-Game Show here on NBC Sports Chicago. Matt, welcome back to the show, and how's that going for you, man?
It's going well. You know, it's cool to be on there with, like this with another former guy that I played with. You know, I got Lance and Alex clowning around on that show. Yeah, so it's real loose, but it's fun to do.
All right, I'm glad to have you here because you're the perfect guest. It's great for you to come down and support Charles and his Cornerstone Foundation. You've played with Ryan Fitzpatrick when you were with the Jets.
Yes.
This could be the quarterback for the Buccaneers this week. He is the only quarterback in NFL history to throw over 400 yards for 3 straight weeks. All right, I need to get your scouting report on him, and were you surprised he did that?
Yes, I was surprised because when I played with Fitzmagic, he was more like Fitz-tragic back then.
See, I heard Fitz-erratic.
I'm mad. I'm pissed at him that he would, go out and play so well. But as you saw last night, it can be erratic, his play. Scouting report, he's a very smart quarterback. He knows how to read defenses, so he's going to study the defense, and he's going to know what you guys are doing. He's really good with his eyes. He'll look off safeties, and he's got that big target of Mike Evans out there, and he's got the speedy Deshaun Jackson. So he will look off safeties. If Mike Evans is one-on-one, I'm guaranteeing you, maybe 90, 95% of the time he's going to go and take that shot towards Mike Evans.
Then why does he all of a sudden become Fitz-erratic or Fitz-tragic? What happens to him? Why does he melt down and start throwing balls into coverage? And
I think, like most quarterbacks, when some pressure gets to him, so the Bears defense, who has been playing amazing, is going to have to be a big key in this game coming up. And Khalil Mack, he's already, it's no secret what he's been doing.
Right. So
he's going to have his eyes over there anyway. And once you start getting pressure, as you saw last night when he was playing the Steelers, some pressure got in his face, and it was a simple throw into the flat. He overthrew him, pick six. So if we can get pressure on him, kind of confuse him with some of the looks, change it up, nothing that's consistent where he can kind of figure out the defense, then I think he'll have a long day.
All right, 2 weeks ago, he asked Deshaun Jackson to borrow his post-game outfit. Hard-hitting question. Did he ever ask you to borrow yours after maybe a big win?
Actually, he did. It was before the game. We were playing. I think it was a primetime type of game, and we traveled somewhere. And I had on a nice pair of ripped-up jeans. I had these nice boots on, and he put them on, and he looked ridiculous in them.
Kind of like he did 2 weeks ago.
Like he did 2 weeks ago.
Kind of, I don't know.
And he was like,
Conor McGregor.
"Yo, Matt, if we win, I'm wearing this." But unfortunately, we didn't win, so he didn't get to wear it.
So he's had that out there before. And
yeah,
he's
one of those guys. He goes around the locker room. He'll see what guys are wearing. He'll try your clothes on. He's that type of guy. He'll do it. He'll try your clothes on before and after the game.
Well, Matt, thanks for coming on. And we want to thank the Cornerstone Foundation and Charles Tillman for having us out the last 2 weeks. We also want to thank Jerry Azuma, Anthony Adams, and like I said, you as well. And we are getting a bye week next week as well, like the Bears do. Hopefully they come out with a win against the Buccaneers, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Before we close it out, let's check the Muscle Mac high-protein macaroni and cheese product stats of the week. Leading the league in forced fumbles. The entire league is our very own Khalil Mack, averaging 1 per game. Exciting times for the Bears. Thanks for watching the Chicago Huddle. There'll be no show next week with the bye, but we'll be back to talk about their game against Miami coming up. See you then.